Okay, here we go. Number 7 for wrestling opinions as I try to find the script for SmackDown here. I believe the SmackDown script was actually longer than the Raw one. So you guys know how I felt about Raw. Not as good as last week's Raw. So yeah, check that one out. Also the MLW Kings of Coliseum. So also see that as well if you want to. So we got SmackDown here before I start with this whole review. Hopefully I make it as long as the Raw one, because the Raw one was actually quicker than I thought it would be. But before I start that, so my plan is basically do fucking every wrestling show that I could a week. So 205 Live, NXT, and NXT UK will all be Wrestling Opinions number 8. I think they will be, hopefully. So 205 Live, NXT, NXT UK all will count as Wrestling Opinions number 8. And they will actually count for each Wrestling Opinions episode. They will count as a whole. So that'll probably be like a long ass episode for when we cover all 3 of them in one shot. We're probably gonna cover Impact. Not gonna do Slammiversary review. Gonna cover Impact once it comes out tomorrow, or maybe the day after. I don't fucking know. And we're gonna cover AEW Fight for Fallen, and we are gonna cover Extreme Rules as well. So this whole week is going to be fucking crazy. Not sure if I want to cover Ring of Honor. And Ring of Honor is super easy to cover. It's just Fight TV, so that's easy for me. BR Live for AEW, so that's easy. Impact is a little bit more difficult, but I have my ways. And yeah, so without further ado, let's get into the SmackDown stuff, which I'm gonna say this right now. Already, it was better than Raw. But anyway, Dolph Ziggler interviewed in the parking lot, interrupted by Kevin Owens. It leads to a brawl. Shane McMahon comes in, says that the main event has been canceled between Owens and Ziggler. He is later interviewed seconds later from the footage that was just shown, and he will find a different main event. So Kevin Owens hijacks, basically breaks the fourth wall, says that Shane takes up more screen time than other superstars who deserves it, like Asuka, Kairi Sane, Buddy Murphy, Ali, Apollo Crews, and etc. I believe he says Authors of Pain at one point. So yeah, Owens basically Stone Cold Stunner, stuff like that. He's the next Stone Cold Steve Austin. And no, people said that a lot for Becky. Fuck that. No, that's not. No. And I don't think that's going to be the case for Owens as well. I'm just saying that for the use of Sane's shit. So there we go. Shane comes and brings security out. And Owens just basically runs away from the security. Surprisingly enough, I thought he was going to actually fight them. And like fight away from the security. And be hunting down Shane throughout the night or whatever. He didn't. But yeah, so we're going to see him later on though. So there you go. It all comes together ultimately. Finn Balor versus Shinsuke Nakamura, which I had high hopes for. And I'm pretty sure now... to be fair, maybe my hopes were a little bit too high. I was expecting like a fucking 5-star classic from these two, mainly kick things off on SmackDown. But no, if anything, the way the match went actually makes more sense than the way I wanted it to go. So I'm not mad about that. So basically, let's go down some of the notes I wrote down for match. Attempted Kinshasa is reversed into a sling blade by Finn Balor. Kinshasa from the second turnbuckle onto the ring. I'm pretty sure it wasn't the Kinshasa, but it was like a knee spot, but I just wrote it there. And then Kinshasa on the outside by Shinsuke. Balor reaches the ring at the count of 9. Balor gets beaten down by Nakamura once more for a while. And he reaches the ring at the count of 9 again. And Balor again at the count of 9 gets out of the ring. But as soon as he gets to the ring, he runs into another Kinshasa by Shinsuke. And Shinsuke goes over. And here are the notes. Dode is pushing Shinsuke again. And then it's followed by I am so fucking happy. That's what I fucking wrote. And that is very, very true. So basically, Balor hasn't really been the greatest of Intercontinental Champions. That's kind of Dode's fault or whatever. They're not really booking him for that much shows, but it will get better because now it's in a rivalry with Shinsuke, and I feel like Dode is starting to push Shinsuke. And hopefully this is better for when they pushed him for the Dode Championship against Styles last year. So I have high hopes for this one. Kind of want Nakamura to win. We shall see how that actually goes when the time comes. Extreme Rules, most likely, although none has been announced at the time of me recording this. But we shall see what happens in that department. So, I like that. Overall, I like the segment. Shinsuke looks strong. I really did enjoy that. Backstage segments is announced that Dolph Ziggler will take on Roman Reigns, which feels like a 2015 SmackDown main event, but whatever. Yeah, 2015 SmackDown main events always had Roman in the main event. Roman versus, like, Luke Harper or whatever the fuck. So, yeah, that's that. I'm like one of the only few people left on this earth that actually still wants Ziggler to get pushed here. So, kind of biased when it comes to that main event. Because I want Ziggler to be in it. I don't want Roman to be in it. So, there you go. Kofi Kingston build up as though the champion, and then recap of Samoa Joe putting him in sleep and Kofi flipping him off last week. We got recaps of all that. It helps hype up for Extreme Rules, and so does the next segment even better. As Samoa Joe backstage, as he does the classic Joe cliche stuff of him kicking ass and, you know, gonna just basically almost kill Kingston. That's probably not what he said, but you know, the basic Samoa Joe stuff. Great promo work as always. He could reuse the same promo over and over on any other opponent, and it's still pretty good. So, solid stuff from Joe as always. So that's basically the build-up we'll get, and Kofi as well later on tonight. So it's not really that much of a great build-up since Kofi is injured apparently. So, shall see how that goes. I'm not sure how well I'm gonna be with Joe defeating Kofi in like under a minute, like he did to Ray at Mania, just because Ray was injured. So I don't know how that's gonna work out. I don't want a situation like that. But yeah. Nikki Cross and Bayley contract signing. Bayley once again looks to convince Cross to not trust Alexa, like fucking always. Fast forward to the end of the segment, and it surprisingly does not end with a table flip and or a brawl. As we now go into Nikki Cross versus Karma, and we do not have a 24/7 title segment throughout this episode of SmackDown. We did not see Truth, we did not see Maverick. We see Mela, but then she's not really associated with the title. I mean, she's helping out Truth, obviously, but you know. So she's in singles and action, I guess to say. This was like 30 minutes of wrestling for a half-hour show. So, not really much, because again, no wrestling during commercial breaks, and they didn't really do the stipulation stuff that they do every week now. So they didn't really do that, so that's why shit went down the way it was, but whatever. Anyway, Cross wears down Bayley. I mean, not Bayley, Carmella with a Batista bite, or the Rings of Saturn that Neville called it. And a sleeper hold for a majority of the start of the match. Nice exchange in the final few moments. So the matchup started off very slow and basic, but then it picked up towards the end. Super kicks and Twisted Sisters exchanged by both Mela and Cross. 4 or 5 of them each, I believe. So, yeah. To end off the match, and Twisted Sister attempts were a nice ending. And basically Cross goes over there. It got better towards the end, so that was a pretty good match, surprisingly. I just thought it was going to be like almost a squash for Cross, but no. She goes over, but, you know, towards the end, it's a little bit difficult for her. So there you go. The Iconics and Kairi Sane and Asuka, I'm not going to say their tag team name because their tag team name is fucking weird as hell, so just going to say Asuka and Kairi Sane. And the Iconics with Paige backstage segment. Paige basically bitch slaps Kay to end off the segment, as Kay was acting like she was very, very sick throughout the segment. You know, the classic Iconic stuff. Not really a funny segment as we would expect from the Iconics, because usually they're super funny. Not really anything funny there. But yeah, I'm guessing next week tag team match for women's tag titles. So we shall see how that goes. None really to complain about that segment. It builds up towards the future. So yeah. Roman Reigns backstage interview, which I didn't pay attention to. So yeah, I just wrote that. Where the fuck he said, I have no idea. I didn't pay attention. New Day promo, which had a lot of sexual innuendo in it, which of course is fucking funny from the New Day as always. Daniel Bryan and Rowan and Heavy Machinery, they interrupt. Heavy Machinery majority basically carried the segment, and I don't mean carry like the New Day, Bryan and Rowan, or Harbaugh on the mic. I mean like, you know, they were the stars of the segment basically. New Day were good, Bryan and Rowan were good, and Heavy Machinery they were great basically. Especially Otis. Otis is awesome. Otis is amazing. But solid performance from all teams all together, very enjoyable. Although a tag team summit, I guess, was just gonna be a big major promo spot, and that's what it was, and it was pretty good. Probably underwhelming for when we hear tag team summit, but yeah, that's basically what it was, and it was good. Nothing to complain about, at least on my book. So that was that. Double suplex by Otis to both Bryan and Woods, which was pretty cool. Braun's is on the outside with both Tucker, Biggie, and Rowan. So that's how we do the no wrestling during commercial breaks rule. So the match will restart when we come back. So that was a pretty good way to lead to that, I guess. So nothing really to complain about that. Still hate that rule, but that was a good way to lead to it at the very least. Instead of 2 out 3 false matches and shit like that. On a roll con to the bell lock by Bryan as Otis breaks it up. So that was pretty good. Otis kicks ass for a while later leads to a caliper to Bryan. Bryan rolls out the ring, which equals that Otis cannot pin him. So, nice stuff on the work of Bryan, obviously. Pop-up World's Strongest Slam leads to the victory for Otis and Heavy Machinery will go over. They've been booked pretty strong. When they originally debuted, it wasn't anything too great, but now they've been built up a little bit more on SmackDown, and it's been working out pretty well for the past, I would say, maybe 2 months now. Could be a month and a half, I could be mistaken, but I would say maybe 2 months. We get a recap of the Ziggler and Owens stuff from last week, and they're on In the Night to just remind us of that. Of course, last week I did say I want Ziggler and Owens to be the new Bar. That's obviously not going to happen anymore, sadly, but the direction they're taking, at least Owens is going to be good. More on that once we get to that segment. Rose and Deville and Ember Moon catering segment as Rose and Deville challenge Moon to a tag match next week. Nothing too special, just a classic catering segment. Randy Rose looks hot as hell, as always, in that segment. And yeah, there you go. Ali inspirational stuff, like always, all the good stuff. He's a pretty good inspirational speaker, I'll give him that. Not to mention a pretty fucking great wrestler, so there you go. We shall see what that leads for Ali. Hopefully something with Buddy Murphy, because I believe they actually did something with Buddy Murphy, like when he originally got drafted to SmackDown, where he called out Ali, but then that didn't lead to nowhere, I believe. Probably was during commercial break, if anything. I do remember seeing a clip of it on YouTube, and not the actual SmackDown show, though, so that was, I don't know. Can't really say anything much about that. Stream was pay-per-view hype. Sadly enough, Street Profits were not here tonight for SmackDown, so they couldn't hype up the stuff and be super funny with it as always, as they were for Raw. So, but yeah, that's that. Now here it comes to fair, basically the most anticipated part of the night for me, to say who knocked on Aleister Black's door, who will challenge him for Extreme Rules. Black applauds Cesaro as Cesaro is revealed. So the rumors were for like a good 2 days before this actually happened, was that it was supposed to be Cesaro, and it was. So that was kind of cool. They're gonna fucking tear the house down. Other ones could have been Buddy Murphy, maybe Mustafa Ali. But Cesaro to me is the best one, if you ask me. Maybe even Bray, but then again, that wouldn't make much sense. I mean, yes, we got the wild card rule, so we can still do it in promotional shit, but it's like, I don't know. I think someone else is gonna be in store with Bray. So I wasn't really expecting Bray out that much. Although it would make sense if it was, though, given the storylines for both, obviously. So, yeah, but it's Cesaro. They're gonna fucking have a great match. I cannot wait to fucking review that for Extreme Rules. That's gonna be good. We're not even done this segment. Black applauds Cesaro as their match at Extreme Rules will be fucking epic. Okay, there you go. I am done with that script. Another Shawn Benjamin segment, similar to what happened last week. He just doesn't fucking answer. But instead of looking around like a fucking madman like he did last week, he just... Okay, never mind. He probably does the same thing. This is going to probably lead to a whole program with him and Bray, I would assume. I just don't know where it will go or how it will be introduced, but we shall see. Paul Heyman seen walking backstage before Kofi is interviewed backstage as he hypes up his title defense against Samoa Joe at Extreme Rules, and that's basically the build-up. That is legit basically the build-up we really get. Kind of underwhelming, I know, but Kofi is injured, and we couldn't really have nothing else for Joe to do besides do, a simple squash match or kick some ass backstage, but, I guess, it gets the job done. Not as good as last week did, though, but it's still pretty solid. Roman Reigns versus Dolph Ziggler. Shane, Drew, and Elias appear and will be a part of the commentary team as we head to commercial break. Once again, a way to abide by the no wrestling during commercial breaks rule, and that is once again another pretty clever way instead of doing elimination tags and 2 out of 3 falls matches all over the place. So, yeah, there you go. Elias and Drew attack Roman to wear him down as the referee was distracted at one point. Super kick reversed into a Superman punch on the part of Roman Reigns. Kevin Owens hits a stunner to Shane as he appears from the crowd while Shane was in the ring. I believe the referee didn't even notice. It doesn't even matter because Shane and Owens are both not inside the ring, so, are both not a part of the match, so there you go. Zigzag is reversed into a spear by Roman, and as Reigns goes over, yeah. Now, you guys would probably expect me to say, why the fuck are they booking Roman back-to-back Raw and SmackDown main events? It feels like we're in 2016 all over again. Which, to be fair, rightfully so. It feels like that. But it's almost like a redo for what they did Monday on Raw. You just didn't think SmackDown did it better than Raw did. Yes, Cedric Alexander's fucking awesome, but I just didn't think we really needed a whole tag team thing as a preview. We could have done something else. Perhaps put Cedric in the main event some other way. But yeah, that's what happened, and it was not that bad, but then again, it was kind of bad. Not on Cedric's part, but on the part of we could have made Cedric do something else, like have him in the main event. And exhibition against, like, McIntyre over there. Make them tear the house down for a good 10 minutes over there. But yeah, SmackDown basically did it well. Ziggler, still good. Roman has improved. I don't hate Roman as much as I did back then. He's improved as a wrestler, but still don't want him to be pushed. But he is. And I'm probably one of the only few people left in the world that actually want Dolph Ziggler as holding any title in WWE. Because, once again, Ziggler mark. Anyway, so I believe the camera actually got cut off at one point for the final few moments of the match. I didn't really catch it. I turned around and the camera cut off because we were running out of time. So yeah, but that will happen. I can't nothing to review about that. So anyway, SmackDown compared to Raw, for me, I rated a 3.5 out of 5. I rated Raw, I believe, a 2.7 out of 5. Maybe it was a little bit low because as I was reading my script for Raw, I will actually re-rate it as maybe a solid 3 because the build-up was pretty good. It did a better job of building up to Extreme Rules than SmackDown did, if you ask me. But for me, it was just a little bit more boring. While SmackDown didn't build up to Extreme Rules as good as Raw, they did a pretty good job of building up, but not as good as Raw did. But it was more enjoyable for me. So I could either rate it by build-up, or I could either rate it by enjoyment. And I'm rating it by enjoyment and not build-up. So enjoyment for rate, I enjoyed SmackDown more, although Raw had the better build-up. So, yeah, you could take it as you will, I guess. 3.5, 4.5 out of me. Yeah, 3.5 out of 5 for me. For SmackDown, for Raw was 2.7 out of 5, maybe a little bit too low in retrospect. Probably deserved to be maybe a solid 3. But yeah, that's how it worked out. So, up next will be 205 Live, NXT, and NXT UK all in one fucking video. That's gonna probably span an hour and a half. I don't fucking know because I talk for fucking ever. And then, not to mention, we got Impact. If I even do Impact. We got AEW Fight for Fallen, which I definitely will do. And then we got Extreme Rules. And then we got fucking Raw again. And then the process never fucking ends. And we're probably gonna do a Ring of Honor pay-per-view once Ring of Honor does a pay-per-view again. Who knows, we'll probably do the Ring of Honor show once again. So yeah, my life is gonna be fucking busy this summer. Just for barely anyone to watch these. So, yay. Anyway, for those of you that did watch it all the way to the fucking end, thank you for listening to me fucking talking about wrestling, I guess. So you all for number 8, which will be 205 Live, NXT UK. And that's gonna be one hell of a one if I even do it. Although I'm saying it right now, so I should probably actually do it. I'm gonna write the script as soon as I end this. There you go. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.